Hello everyone, that Manga Kid here to give my review of the 50th anniversary edition of Kamen Rider by Shotaro Ishinomori. This is a 7 Seas classic collection edition, hardcover, huge. This book is a giant brick. It's nice that you can pick it up in one go, but I don't know. As you're trying to read it and hold it and it's on your lap and your leg is falling asleep, part of me was like, maybe this could have been two volumes. But I do appreciate having to only buy one. But it is very heavy. I obviously know of Kamen Rider's existence. It is a classic Japanese series, but I had never consumed any of the media for it, but I knew of it. And I am trying to grab the classic collections that Seven Seas are releasing because they're quite good. If it's something that generally interests me, and this one definitely does. And so what I was not expecting was to read this whole thing in one sitting. I thought, you know what? It's going to be, this is a huge, thick book. It's a, kind of classic shonen series that I'm probably going to feel like it's repetitive and whatever. I'll probably read a chunk of it and read another chunk later. But no, I sat down and read this whole thing in one sitting. It was so entertaining. It was funny. It was the action sequences are so cool, and it's just really ridiculous. It is everything I wanted it to be and more. And it was just so ridiculously ludicrous, and I loved every second of it. So basically, our main character is like experimented on or something. Like he's injured, and then he's turned into this like superhero guy, with fantastical strength and powers. And he drives this motorcycle, and he's got this bug exterior situation going on, and he fights monsters and whatnot. I'm butchering this. It's you're either going to read this or you're not going to read it. Honestly, if this does not intrigue you, I don't think anything I can say will intrigue you, because it's just classic, ridiculous Japanese superhero-esque demon fighting stupidity, honestly. What I really like about this is the paneling and the action sequences, and I love I'm going to try and find, oh, this one's great, but even if you're not interested in the story, which is, it is what it is, the movement and the paneling and the way that everything is drawn is so stunning. And I found myself like really, really enamored with all of this. Like, look at the way that this paneling is done and the way that you can see how he's like, it flows so nicely with action scenes, and you can tell exactly where he's going and what he's doing and how his body is moving. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes, particularly with shonen, like kind of battle shonen-esque stuff, where you're like, who's hitting who? When did he get in that position? How did he get that weapon? Like, what's going on? Whereas this is like the classic sort of like paneling of back-to-back like movement. You're watching it like it's a claymation stop motion film or something. And it's just so pleasant. And when there's so much action going on, it's really helpful to have that sort of aspect. And then you get panels like this where you're just like that's really impressive. It's a really stunning piece of art. And this whole time I was reading this, I'm like, this is a ludicrous story. It's bonkers. It's bananas. Whatever. But this art is so compelling, and the story itself is funny. And it was like when I was reading Devilman, like, you know, it's classic for a reason, and it's, people are still interested in it today for a reason. But at the end of the day, it's ridiculous, and I'm just going to enjoy the ridiculous ride that it is. Very, very happy to own Kamen Rider. This is definitely something I will reread because there's a lot of it's kind of like superhero-esque, but at the same time also like there's human experimentation going on and mutations, and it's really interesting and funny and dark and twisted, but also cool and just visually dynamic. But yeah, it's it's definitely a cool one. I'm excited we got this release, and I am excited to reread this in the future for sure. Anyway, if you have read this and you have something else to contribute, because my thoughts were all over the place, please do. But otherwise, if you're interested in classic manga, I definitely recommend picking this one up. It's pretty wicked. Yeah. Thanks for watching.